All right, hello everyone. Today we have a very big live stream with Kim Ji-hoon over here. This live stream is once again pretty damn long and covers quite a lot of stuff that is not really related to the game. The first one that we're not going to talk about at all. I'll just talk about all the stuff that I'm not going to talk about first, all right? So you can go and find it, right? The first one is going to be here, which is the Ham Ham Pang Pang Roland and Ensemble event, right? So you can go to 2301 if you are somehow going to go to Korea, or you're going to ask someone to help you buy the products and then send it back to your country or wherever you live, right? So if you care about this, you will go and read at this timestamp over here. And then after that, if you don't care about that, then you also go to the next one over here, which is going to be the 1 Million Moons concert in Korea. If you're going to go and watch, then you can feel free to see some details here. Otherwise, skip. All right, we don't need to see this because we're just here to play the game, right? So the last section that we don't really need to see is this part over here. Kim Ji-hoon posts a bunch of memes, posts about the direction of the company, and legitimately posts job application. Like he advertises, we need designers for sprites. We need people who are good at combat design. No joke, he actually like talks about benefits, talks about his company's vision, talks about what you need to do to join the company, and blah blah blah. A lot of different stuff. So if you are an artist or a game designer and you are able to maybe speak Korean, then you can go ahead and look at this part. Otherwise, also once again, not really relevant to us as players. And then we can go all the way over here, and then he posts a bunch of memes, which means that he's in the Project Moon community hub lurking about, posting all of these memes over here. And then after that, then we get actual content here, which is the Lei Heng Meursault. Okay, so that is all of the stuff we are not going to talk about. We're going to skip every one of them. I don't give a shit about most of the stuff here, all right? Because I'm just here to play the game. I'm not going to Korea anytime soon. And this part here, I really watched it and I listened to all of the stuff that he said already. Kim Ji-hoon is a one-of-a-kind CEO. I've never seen anyone advertise a job on YouTube before in a gacha live stream. I've never seen a live stream where they're like, yes, we need people to come, all right? So that's very interesting. You can go ahead and watch this part here. It's actually quite funny. Yeah. All right. So let's start with the first part. We're going to go and talk about the users, right? So once again, we hit another gigantic peak with our users. And Kim Ji-hoon stated a few times that the company is not ready for this kind of insane growth. They cannot keep up. He's not ready to expand the company. He wants to try to expand it within 2 years, and he's building a new company building or something like that. But for now, we don't expect any major changes to the current way that they are doing things. All right, it's going to be mostly Kim Ji-hoon running the whole show here because he said that he has no middle manager to manage anyone. He's the guy managing every aspect of his company right now. All right, so that is all I want to say for this part over here. Moving on to the 957. We are going to talk about the new Mirror Dungeon. Yes, the new Mirror Dungeon, Mirror of Immortality, will have 7 Sinner chain battles. So you can bring that Blood Fiend Otis and Ring Yi-sang because those are the 2 options that you might want to take in or take out. And then you can bring all the other Blood Fiends. You can bring your 2 Kurokomos. Boom, you have yourself a full-on bleed team. Legit, no bleed character left out in a 7 Sinner team. Very cool stuff. Love to see it. After that, we can see some of the new UI over here. There's the new Starlight system. Rest bonus is completely removed. And we also have the cost over here, and also maybe these buffs here will be a bit changed from now on. Next, we have the 1136. 1136, or well, around here. Basically, is all of this stuff. The new Starlight system is not like the old one. The old one, you had to grind a bunch and then you unlock powers, and the powers changes the way you play the game. No, in this one, you do runs. When you do runs, you get Starlight. Not sure how to get more or less Starlight. None of this was mentioned. We will have to wait until the Mirror Dungeon comes a bit closer. But this accumulated Starlight can be used to select ego gifts, can be used to select starting bonus, can be used for team packs, can be used for refreshing the shop, and can be used for ego gift fusion chances. Take note that cost refreshing of the shop will be removed. They will only let you refresh the shop with Starlight from now on. And yes, you can raise the ego gift fusion chances. You can raise it to 99.99. No joke. So that means that you can still hit a 0.01 and not get the ego that you wanted from the fuse. So that really sucks if that is going to happen to you. But I think it's pretty funny that they put it at 99.99. So if I ever hit that, I will become the luckiest or unluckiest man alive. All right. So with that one done, let's move on to 1258. Yes, 1258 is going to be a new rental system. So for new players, this is mostly for new players, they will have now new identities and ego combinations for you to bring into the mirror dungeon. You can legit borrow a whole team to go into MD and clear it in case you are currently not ready for it. In case you haven't uptie everyone, in case you haven't built a full team. And because it's 7 sinners now, right? It's very unlikely that a new player can actually build 7 to a reasonable level to do mirror dungeon. Although if they do it optimally, they can. But for the casuals, you have to accommodate for them. So they are doing this system over here. The downside of this system is that they are restricting the weekly bonus claiming. If you use a preset identity and ego combo, you can only claim one hard mode weekly bonus, only one of them. So that is one of the downsides of doing this. When actually, if you just use your own team, you can claim all 3 at once. So it's actually going to be faster for all those people who have an actual team. All right. Then after that, we are going to skip a bunch of stuff over here since he lingers here for quite a bit. And then we go to 1608. And he mentions that there will be new ego gifts added with each Intervallo Boggak, and each Refraction Railway, which we will be talking about soon. Intervallos and Intervallo Boggaks. Refraction Railway, they said that they are probably going to cancel it just to make sure they can release Canto 9 on time. And if they cannot release Canto 9 on time, they will instead release an Intervallo and a Refraction Railway. So we will just have to wait and see whether we will actually get Refraction Railway 6 or we will skip it and get Canto 9 instead. It's either or, according to Kim Ji-hoon. All these ego gifts here, by the way, all of them exist in the game already. None of these are actually the ego gifts that they want to add. All right, so don't bother looking for all of these backgrounds over here. Okay, so with that done, we will now skip over all of this stuff again and look at the peak over here. Walpurgisnacht, hatred and despair. He even highlighted it for us with his iconic green marker, right? What does that mean? Well, Queen of Hatred. No joke. We are getting Queen of Hatred in Limbus Company and Knight of Despair in Limbus Company. In fact, if we go back to this roadmap over here and we just go a little bit ahead, you can see we are getting 2 identities and 1 ego, and there is one very cute little girl over here, of which if we brighten a bunch, we can see that it is Don Quixote in Queen of Hatred outfit. Alright, so peak is coming. Walpurgisnacht is going to drain my wallet. I absolutely am going to pull this. Ignore the ghost in the bottom right because I had to brighten this very, very big. Alright, so that is going to be one of the IDs we're going to get. There's still going to be 1 ego and 1 ID. Maybe the ego could be the snake form of the Queen of Hatred, because Queen of Hatred does have 2 phases. She turns into a snake in the ego form, perhaps. So that would make a lot of sense here, I think. And then the Knight of Despair is going to be I don't know what kind of unit it's going to be. Maybe a piercing focus unit for all I know. All right. The Walpurgis unit here, they could just adapt them to become anything for all I know. Right. Maybe they'll go full piercing support. Maybe they go rupture. Maybe they go sinking. I don't know what they want to do with these characters over here. That one, we'll just have to wait and see what their vision is. Okay. So after Walpurgis, yep, that's it. There's no date. There's no nothing, by the way. And literally nothing else about Walpurgisnacht was it. It was just a brief mention. They mentioned the Roland, Ham Ham Pang Pang collab, blah, blah, blah. Not important for gamers. Moving on to TKT Rerun. TKT Rerun, we got a Hubert announcer and 1 ID and 1 ego, most likely a T-Corp ID, as well as an ego to support Tremor or support Time Moratorium in some way or another. Not sure what's going to happen, right? And then after that, we have a little bit of a preview of what Honglu's ID design is going to be. The Honglu ID design wants to make use of deployed and backup Heisho pack units. So that looks quite interesting because in the story, this character here is going to command the Heishos to kill them or slash them, right? So this ID will also do that for our Heishos, and that seems pretty damn interesting. It does not mention making use of other Jia IDs though. You only use the Heishos according to this one piece of text over here, and there's really nothing else mentioned by Kim Ji-hoon about the other Jia characters. So that one, we will just have to wait and see whether Shi Chun is going to be an important piece in this Heisho pack, or do I want to just run this character here and make him deploy every single Heisho by himself. That could be something that they're trying to do here for this character. So for now, we will just wait and see what they're cooking with this guy over here. Let them cook and we will be very, very rewarded. Next, we have a event which is going to be named Hierarchus Maker. Which is a reference to Princess Maker. If you ever played the Steam game Princess Maker, it's legit a game where you grow your daughter up and she becomes a princess, and how you raised her will determine how she actually rules the entire country. So this is just a reference for Shi Chun here because we are going to make her into the hierarch of the Jia family. All right, so we're getting a Xi and Wei announcer. We're getting one Wei identity. So Yi Sang Wei is confirmed because he does appear in the Xi Ishmael art. And we also have one other Heisho identity, which I strongly believe to be Dawn, because Dawn does have Talisman, Dawn Ego, and I think it would be lame if they never release an ID for that Ego, because that Ego's passive has something to do with crits and debuffs. So I think that is going to be a pretty interesting support for the Shichun later on. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of ID we're going to get here. But I have a strong suspicion there's going to be a Dawn Heisho, whichever one is going to be. Dragon? Monkey? I don't know. Could be any one of them. All right. So after this little Princess Maker reference, we now go on to Arknights news. Yes, it's not going to be much, I'm sorry to say. So if you're looking for Arknights news here, you get nothing. You legit only know there is one announcer, 4 egos, and it's a true limited banner and nothing else. Details will be released when the event is going to come out. That's it. Just a short mention, just in case you're a new player who has never heard of this event. This event is happening. We will be getting it whenever it's ready, but it seems to be around October-ish, right? Around October, we will be able to get the Arknights event, and then you can pull for all of this stuff over here. The good thing about the Arknights event is that is egos. Egos, you cannot get duplicates, which means that if you pull one of the egos, you only have 3 left to pull, and you legit can only hit those 3 because you can't get any duplicates. So that's one nice thing about this ego here, but 4 egos looks to be quite a big ask for a lot of players, so save up your lunacy. That's all I can advise here for now. I'll make a video talking about all of this stuff later on. Right, moving on to 3127. This one is going to be a little bit of a Warp Train rerun. Warp Train rerun, we are getting IDs and egos. We are getting charge support in 2025. Love to see it. And also the announcer is legit just the PA system announcer. I have no interest in this. I do have an interest in the Shichun announcer though. I will try to get that one eventually. Right, so yeah, PA announcer, a bunch of charge IDs. Hopefully it's really, really good ones to help boost the charge team. After that, we have 1 million moons. We're going to skip that because I mentioned it before already. There's a Project Moon anniversary. They mentioned Walpurgisnacht again, but this one is legit just... Oh, do you know that the next Walpurgisnacht after the Ruina one, after the Lobotomy Corp one, is going to be a Ruina one? Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else about it. He just pasted one Walpurgisnacht here and says that the next Walpurgisnacht after the one beforehand with Queen of Hatred is going to be a Ruina one. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So now there's a Project Moon 9th anniversary. No big news or anything significant. He legit says it like that. So yeah, it's not me saying it, it's him. And we move on to the big news. Refraction Railway 1 is coming back and is becoming permanent content, and the level will be scaled. So you can bring your favorite Rupture team or Bleed team and just run it down, because this Refraction Railway is super easy if you actually have statuses. It's just going to be a joke. Have fun for the new players, and for the old players, you get to go in and just stomp around with your funny characters right now, because our characters are way stronger than back then. Absolutely insanely more OP than what was available to us back in the day, right? So 3741 done. Now we go to 3832. This one is going to be a little bit of a mention of the skipping of RR and chapter 8.5-2 to make sure that Canto 9 can be released this year. The intended date is mid-December. They want to release Canto 9 in mid-December, and if they have to skip RR6 and chapter 8.5-2, they will do it to do this. But if they cannot, then they will scrap Canto 9 for next year, and then they do RR6 and then 8.5-2 instead. So that is going to be the difference here. If you see anything change over here, then yeah, you just expect the worst, basically. I hope we get the Canto personally. I don't mind skipping the Refraction Railway because I feel like a Canto... Man, Cantos are just something else, and I rather feel the Canto rather than do another Refraction Railway. Yeah. Okay, so next we have quality of life stuff. Lots of quality of life stuff. They want to change the loadout UI. They want to make it easier to find enemy gimmicks. I think the CEO experienced it himself, so he wants to make it more intuitive. And he also wants to add a continue button. This one I'll talk about a little bit more because it's a bit controversial, and I think some people will be a bit angry, but I'll just say that it actually doesn't matter at all for a lot of us. All right, first off is the UI change. Whether it's an improvement or not, it'll be up to you. But the UI looks something like this. I think this is just a storyboard. It's not actually supposed to be the UI. Yeah. Then after that, you move over here, you can see the selection screen. The selection screen is basically like you can click the ID here and then it will show you all of the IDs when you scroll down or something like that. It looks pretty interesting. There's a filter button and all of this stuff over here. You can show collection percentages also, and you can also mark as favorite. So it'll be easier for you to select all of the IDs that you really like and then just unfavorite all the IDs that you really don't like. So I think that this this is actually going to be quite a good way to do it, because we're going to get so many IDs and people will just get overwhelmed when they come in. They'll be like, holy shit, which ID is good, which ID is like horrendous, and then they can just favorite and unfavorite based on the information they get, which is going to make their life a lot easier. I think that's very, very good. Right. Next one is going to be making it easier to read. No joke, it's just that. They are going to mark enemy gimmick passives with 3 tiers of reading priorities. So for example, when you fight a certain boss that has 6 unbreakable coins, they will now highlight the part that says, hey, if you do this, you can deal with the gimmick of the boss. And they'll just put a super high tier of like maybe tier 1 or something, highest priority, or maybe it's tier 3 highest priority. I don't know what their tiering system is. So they'll put it for the passive, so when you read it, you will see it. And they also do it for the skills itself. So when you're clashing the skills, they will also highlight that this is a high priority skill for you to go and clash, or a low priority skill, but it's important for you to go and clash this, right? So yeah, very, very interesting stuff over here. They're legit making it easier to read, and I think that's good. That's a good step for a lot of new players. But for the old farts like me who already knew how to read all the stuff in PMoon games, then I don't think it would change too much. It would just make our life a bit easier, right? Okay, so next one, difficulty adjustment. This one's the one I need to talk about a little bit more. Right now, they're making it so that you can consume lunacy to continue the fight. So let's say you go and fight the boss, he wipes your entire party and now you're cooked. And then you press the continue button by paying the lunacy, and then you get to fight with full HP, and then you fight the boss, right? So that is a bit pay to win to some people who look at this and they're like, holy shit, so you can pay to win. Well, actually, no. One of the downsides of this system here is that you do not get the EX clear when you do this. So you are not recommended to do it at all, right? Why would you do it? You don't get the EX, so like you can't get the lunacy, so it's like a waste. You legit pay lunacy for nothing, and then after that you get nothing. So I think that this system is just dog shit. I think it's just something that you will never ever use if you have a brain or you just YouTube it. So if you YouTube the stage, you're done, right? I mean, FGO has this system also, and no one uses it. Legit, no one uses it. People just look at the guide or just abuse whoever the hell is OP, and then they just win the game, right? So legit, this thing here is like a nothing burger. It's legit just a way to kind of, well, scummily get money from people who don't know better, right? If they see this, then they're like, oh, I can pay lunacy to continue, and then I am too lazy, I'll just do it. Then after that, they realize the EX clear does not count. Wow, that sucks. But at the same time, it also allows new players to kind of speed through the story by brute force, as long as they pay to win. So yeah, it's a bit of a scummy mechanic in some ways, which I understand. But also, like, you as an old player or you as a YouTuber watcher, like, you won't get affected. You legit won't get affected. So I don't think it's so bad for me. I just think that it's a bit shit because it kind of takes advantage of people who don't know better. That's all I have to say. Unless they tell you, like, you won't get the EX clear when you press this button, then I will accept it. Because then at least the new players see, then they're like, oh, I don't care. Then they press the button. Then okay, they know, they have the knowledge, then they press it. I think that would be a fair way to do it. All right. After that, continue button, we are going to talk about the transmog system again. Yes, so last time they already mentioned transmog. They want to add a skin system, so your OP characters can wear the skins of the characters that you like, but they are not really used. Like maybe you still love Talisman Sinclair from the past, and you want to equip it onto your Soldato Sinclair or something like that, right? Then you will go and replace the skin, and then you go and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's not coming anytime soon, but they are still working on it. That's literally all there is to say about this. They did not mention anything else about the skins over here, but at least you know that they are working on the skin progress. Next, we have the 51, 52. We're going to skip a lot of stuff over here. Moving on to this one. We are going to try to make some other content. They mentioned like maybe dice games or roguelike modes, something that's not Refraction Railway and maybe not Mirror Dungeon, because those are very expensive things to do and takes multiple weeks to do, when they can actually make some sort of maybe weekly raid boss or something where you can go and fight this every week, and it's just chill, you know, something that's low effort for them, and something that we can do to entertain ourselves through the weeks when there's really long droughts of no content, which I think is totally fine. All right, so I think that is going to be nice. We have to wait and see what they cook up for this one. Right, after that, they are also going to briefly mention this part here, which is Uptie 5 for egos. But don't get shocked here, all right? For new players, you see Uptie 5, you're like, oh my god, I have to Uptie 5 everything, I'm cooked. I have no resources, I have no more threads, I'm dead. No. This Uptie 5 for the egos seems to be for the weaker egos. So he mentions 4th match Flame Yisang, which is a bit power cracked by a lot of the other egos. So they may slowly add Uptie 5s for the different egos to buff them to the power level of current egos or something similar to current egos to make them more useful, basically. So I think that is fine. It's a bit similar to the Arknight system where they add these special modules to make the units a bit more viable. So you can actually use them without feeling like they're complete ass, right? So I think that this is a fine way to do it. It's not like the module system, but it is Uptie 5 to just fix a ego from the past. And if you're a new player, this tier 5 upgrade is probably not going to save your life or change your fate, right? You're probably going to go for the really OP egos at season 6, or maybe just take Fluid Sac Files and be happy with your entire gameplay, right? So I don't think that this is going to totally change your life. You're not going to be like, oh my god, I need to get tier 5. No, it's going to be like, oh, tier 5 for this is really nice for that team in particular, but I'm not going for that team, so I can ignore it. Or I don't need it right now. I think tier 4 is enough. That's totally fine. I think that this is okay. And after this Uptie 5 upgrade, there's almost nothing else of mention here. There's a few mentions of memes. He legit took this meme from the community hub, I swear, because this meme that he posts over here is literally the meme from the community hub, and it's a sticker. Okay, it's not loading, unfortunate. But it's the one where he says like, I'm at my limit. Yeah, starting to feel like I'm at my limit. This is legit a sticker from the Project Moon community hub. Really, really cool stuff. He even gave us a free meme over here, all the way over here somewhere. It's about doxing though. It's pretty funny. He said that it's okay if you use his face to go and plant it onto different like stuff, and don't do it for other employees, otherwise they'll take legal action against us. And this guy gives you the ego gift non-disclosure agreement, which I think is pretty funny. Really, really nice joke here. Yep. Okay, anyway, that's all I have to mention here. Legit, everything else here is going to be very, very company-focused stuff. Legit, a job application is here, and a bit of mention of memes and stuff, and about his inexperience, and he wants to become more professional and blah, blah, blah. And then we go over here. Oh my goodness. Look at this man. Look at this man. Holy shit. It's Heng Meursault. And we are not going to watch the trailer from here. We're going to watch it from this one. Yes. So now we go to the trailer itself. Meursault Capo and Soldato Sinclair. If you don't remember Soldato in the fight, they came in for one turn, threw ammo and Meursault, and then left. That's what their job was. And they're making that ID a 3-star. Yes, so you are going to want this character for this character because Sinclair in the fight, according to the translator, says, I'm replenishing your ammo to Meursault. So Sinclair's purpose in life seems to be throwing ammo at the Meursault, and the Meursault reloads his gun with the Tiger Mark bullets. And that is going to be very, very important. So now we'll just watch the trailer and you will witness peak.
아니, 명령은 경청하고 있어요. 그저 감히 상급자와 눈이 맞지 않도록 시선을 아래로 둘 뿐.
1-2 skill 1.
밤에는 다른 조직에 대해 공부하곤 해요.
2 coin skill 2.
새로운 회사나 단체에 대해 연구하고
3
그들의
coin
계획을
skill 3.
대략적이나마 측정하려 노력하죠.
Skill 3-2. 1, 2, and 3. 3-2. Alright.
줄일 수 있으니까.
After that, from what I can tell here, Sinclair simply reloads his gun. Because the words that he said over there, according to the translator, is I'm replenishing your ammo. There's no animation for it here. But the words he said is I'm replenishing your ammo. So it seems like when Meursault attacks, the Soldato will give him ammo.
함부로 입을 놀리면 실수라도 신뢰를 범하는 법.
포표탄 하나가
Look at that!
최고급 시가
Look at that!
세계의 가치와 맞먹는다. 전탄을 소모해서 참격을 가할 땐 휴미더의
1,
시가
2.
모두를 날려버린다는
Skill
생각보다
2, 1, 2, 3.
간혹 시가 한다스보다 가치로운
Skill
상대를
3.
만날 때도 있으니
1,
아끼는 것이
2,
더 가치
and
있는 거지.
3. No, there's no 6 coin. Ha, you thought. Alright, so this one seems to be a clash where he loses.
몸이
He gets hit,
끓어오르는
and he initiates a counter attack with his skill 3. Yes, he counter attack with skill 3. That's actually crazy. So we have counter attack skill 3 so far, right? Then we have 1, 2, into reload. When he reloads, his head disappears. And then here when he's clashing, the head comes back. I don't know what the hell happened there, but the head came back.
다소 아쉽지만
And then he reloads after getting hit here. So I'm not sure what happens here, but he reloads after getting hit again. And then he triggers the big hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 unbreakable coins. Oh, 6 unbreakable coins. And it's not over yet because Shin AoE 6 unbreakable coins.
나를 들뜨게 만드는 일은 많지 않지만 이번엔 그 귀중한 경우의 수에
You thought it was over, but no, 6 Shin unbreakable coins.
회수하지 않은 탄피는 기부다.
Oh my god. 6 unbreakable coins AoE with Shin. Oh, you better go and dispense Regret Meursault and get Kaput Meursault in any way possible to make this character work. If you missed it, by the way, there was a tremor sound just now. He does do his burning tremor shenanigans in this build. He gets reloaded by Soldato Sinclair, and he does have that gigantic move at the end there. Right. So the thing about that gigantic move, Kim Ji-hoon said that it's actually 5 coins. It's not 6 coins. So take note of that, alright? It's not 6 unbreakable coins like we saw in the story, but it is 5 unbreakable coins, alright? So there has to be a bit of a balance here. They can only make the enemies do crazy moves. They can't make us do the crazy moves yet, at least. So this character here, for some reason, is going to have the Shin aura, and is going to have the ridiculous amount of AoE, and I want to see what this character does. This Meursault is my favorite Meursault now. It's over, alright? This Meursault, I'm going to glaze him no matter what. You can't stop me. This character is just like, oh my god. Like, he got me at the artwork. It's not even the animations or the skills. He just got me here. I'm never gonna use this artwork. I'm never gonna use the other artwork. I'm using this one for the entire time I'm using this character. So damn good. So damn good. Okay, alright. Anyway, that's enough peak from me. Basically, I'm expecting a Burning Tremor support, and this is going to be better for the burn team, I feel. Because the Tremor you don't actually care about, but you care about the burn part. And since he does burn potency, he's going to be a great addition for the burn team. For the Tremor team, I'm not sure if this is going to be very relevant, because the burn team is all about yellow plus white into big booms. This character does do some bursting, so we'll see how many bursts that he do. If his gigantic 5 coiner does 5 or 4 Tremor bursts, oh my god, it's over. Then this guy will also be a core character for burn and for Tremor. That would be amazing to see. Okay. So with that, I finished with the summary of this entire stream over here, right? Peak fiction over here, lots of little content drops over here, and a bit of some stuff that I didn't really care about. So I hope that this helped you to understand more of the stuff over here. And if you want to go and see all the funny stuff, I do recommend watching near the end over here, because Kim Ji-hoon goes on a lot of philosophical stuff. He wants to make the company a place where people work, not where drones work, something along those lines. And then you can go and read all that he says. Very, very nice stuff to go and read, right? So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know. Feel free to mention anything else in the stream if you want extra information, extra translation stuff that I had no time to mention in my video, right? I did read the whole transcript, so I do know all of it, but I had no time to talk about some of it. All right, so thanks guys for watching. I shall see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, good luck for Walpurgis whenever it comes, and good luck for the Heng Meursault, which I'm absolutely going to go and dispense. I'm not going to pull him, but I am going to dispense him 100% for sure. All right, thanks guys, bye-bye.